Alright. Hello, you Teemo mains and Master Yi mains alike. I am the MikeYeung, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. This one is actually news related. Yes, I know I'm gonna be able to do my Rift Rivals thoughts and opinions going into, that type of discussion. That's gonna be a pretty long-winded discussion that I might use in a podcast form with obviously JTH. We were discussing that today about doing a League of Legends podcast that we kind of already do, but it's something we already do. It's just like, why can't we just do that in video form? Now, the name to be on it is going to be interesting. I don't know specifically what the name is going to be. If you guys have any names, then maybe leave them down in the comment section below about what our league podcast could be called. And I think that, that could be something that could be very, very flourishing in terms of a lot of other things that could be a lot better in, just the channel overall growing in the future. Because there's a lot of things to talk about that per se can't be broken down into 10-minute 15-minute videos. Obviously, like, our power rankings well go above an hour because breaking down things and going over team play and game aspects all get broken down. So I was thinking to myself, if Riot and Riot has two podcasts with the LEC and the Dive, which I watch all the time when episodes come out, I was like, why can't we just do that ourselves? And then you have little smaller podcasts that talk about, like with Thorn and Loco Doco. You have the one with I Will Dominate as well. So there's a lot more for you guys to watch in general when it comes to that. So if you guys have names for that, leave them down below in the comment section if you are actually interested in that. So let's go over this. Team Liquid trades MikeYeung to Echo Fox. So this is going to be a really funny story. And before I actually get into talking about this in this actual trade, I Will Dominate, when he was on his specific podcast with Loco and a bunch of other people, he talked about that Echo Fox is probably going to get a new jungler. And he was like, MikeYeung is probably going to be moving somewhere. It was like little bit of hints here and there. And then when me and JTH went to the store today, what I was talking to him about was that MikeYeung, he could go to Echo Fox. And I had actually forgot that I Will Dominate stream already, and then he was looking through his Reddit, and then MikeYeung goes to Echo Fox. I was like, hey, MikeYeung, 200 IQ roster moves. But let's talk about this. Team Liquid trades MikeYeung to Echo Fox. The young jungler is set to become the LCS starter for Echo Fox. Team Liquid has traded Academy jungler MikeYeung to Echo Fox, the organization announced on Twitter. Liquid signed MikeYeung last offseason to play on its Academy roster, but with incumbent LCS starter Xmithy seemingly entrenched in his role, there wasn't a obvious path for MikeYeung to return to the LCS stage, because obviously if you're behind Xmithy, most likely you're not going to be able to take over that starting position unless you're some Meteos level jungler or Dardoch level jungler, and they're actually on the same team, so that's not really going to happen. He'll have that opportunity with Echo Fox where he'll take the starting position from Rush. The last time MikeYeung had a full-time LCS role in the LCS was with TSM in the 2018 spring split, but after the team suffered through a lackluster split, he was relegated to the Academy squad. And then MikeYeung tweets, really excited to be playing back in the LCS stage with Echo Fox. Gonna show NA what's up with my high tempo jungling that we need to beat EU like in 2017 Rift Rivals. It's really funny. The only Rift Rivals NA won was with where MikeYeung was playing on Phoenix 1, and Phoenix 1 were a 10th place team. I don't know how a 10th place team was beating up G2 and Fnatic in that year, but anything's possible, right? Echo Fox signed Rush with the intention of building the team around him, but after a surprisingly good spring split, that's debatable. Spring split wasn't that good for Echo Fox. They got into playoffs off a tiebreaker game, or pretty much like one game. Like, is that really a surprisingly good spring split? Yeah, they had a couple upsets, but let's be honest here, that wasn't a good spring split. The team has regressed. In our latest power rankings, the team was ranked 9th, and they've been in one of the bottom spots all summer. As part of the transaction, Rush has been released and is looking for a team as a free agent. Obviously, Echo Fox is going to do a mystery box opening, and that's probably going to reveal MikeYeung coming out of the box naked in a cake. I really hope that's not the video. I haven't even watched it yet. This is a chance for both the team and the player to hit reset. It wasn't revealed what Liquid received in return for the transfer since Rush is being released. Echo Fox's other jungler, Panda, appears to be staying with the team in the academy role. Alright, so going over my thoughts on this, I think that I was one of the few people, just myself, and I think a couple other people just didn't agree with me that Rush was kind of overrated coming into Echo Fox. It was like, I think I did the power rankings for Spring Split with Dr. Manhattan and JTH, and I was talking to JTH just off camera. I was like, this dude is just overrated. Obviously, he didn't really me and him kind of went back and forth on that. But, you look at how things went for him after he left Cloud9, and just like how the very first few weeks I saw him on stage, I knew it was not going to work out. Now, whether that's due to actual, in-game issues or team play, remains to be, to be solved out with other rosters that he may play for in the future. It's not that I don't think that he's going to get another position somewhere else. It's not that, because most likely he would be technically an upgrade against a weaker jungler, but right now, after he didn't prove anything on Echo Fox, a lot of teams would go, well, why would we waste an import slot on him when obviously there's a lot of, dynamics that really go into that. If you're paying for an import spot for a player that is going to cost a decent amount of money, probably like Rush does in some cases, you might want to rethink his position and go like, well, if we can just get a good jungler by not doing that, why can't we just go with a domestic jungler? That depends on obviously finding a domestic jungler that's really good. It really just does depend. Now, with that being said, looking at the whole Echo Fox as a team, I don't think MikeYeung is going to be that much of an upgrade. Maybe it's just me, looking at what happened with him in TSM in the Spring Split. Remember, he was hyped up to be an incredibly good jungler coming in with Sven, sorry about that, and Mithy, but it was later on revealed and leaked through like a ton of spots of different videos that, Mithy had to teach him how to professionally jungle. Maybe that was the way that he thought professional jungling should have been played. There could have been a lot of dynamics and arguing with that. It's not always as clear cut as a lot of people like to make it out to be, because that's how I like to look at things personally. But looking at him through the academy scene, he's gotten a decent amount better. He's not the same player, obviously, that he was when he came into the league on P1, but I think that when you look at the way the game has evolved, I think that he can do better on Echo Fox when there's, obviously a lot less pressure and a lot less, pretty much expected of you to win. Now he's going to be playing with Solo, Phoenix, Apollo, and Hakuo. I'm still not seeing where this is an upgrade, but as most people already know by now, that Echo Fox really aren't taking the split as seriously. Like, a lot of people say that G2 trolls and, NA trolls and EU trolls, but we know one thing for sure that is trolling is that Echo Fox is not taking this split seriously. And the thing is that you can just tell by their player choices, their constant roster swaps. They had Yasui and Panda, back when the split first started. There was a lot of, good things being said about, them doing really well in scrims. I think that they really did confuse scrims with actual stage games, but, I'm not a professional in the scene, so what would I know? I'm just a random good-looking guy with a alias on YouTube talking about League of Legends to you through a camera. So, what also has to be said is that, is this going to really impact the team dynamic? Like, his upbeat tempo jungling, does he really still have that? Does he have that P1 MikeYeung flair that he had back when, he first came into the league, that year? But the thing is that a lot of people still remember him from his TSM split. So it's just basically all about, we don't really know what to expect, but I hope that he comes in with flair. I hope that he comes in bringing a new light to the jungle for the North American LCS after what happened at Rift Rivals, obviously. You got to factor in that there needs to be a change of pace at the way North America plays the game. I feel like that a lot of teams are stuck in this like season 7, season 6 way of playing the game, which is literally hasn't been the case in a very long time. Like, you know, even Cloud9 failed at it a lot, but they had their own issues with being sick. Obviously, I'll go over all of that, you know, in my thoughts and opinions for Rift Rivals, obviously. But I think that this is a good move for the Echo Fox to a certain degree, and this will show people that, and Rush will be a big indicator of a really clear-cut thing. I always say, do not overrate players that were good during a few splits, because there weren't good players to compete with them during that time. A lot of people remember Rush being very, very good, but you have to remember, who was he really competing with back then? Really, a lot of people like to overrate certain players because that's just what people do now. They just simply overrate players and call them the best and say that they can dominate the league. It's not how that's not really what the case is. That was the case because there wasn't better competition to really compete with them. Now that goes differently with a lot of players and a lot of other teams around the world from past splits, past seasons. But this one is going to be a clear indicator, and this is also another good clear indicator of overhyped players, you know, coming back and, you know, not really doing what they ever been set out to do. But that could obviously be the thing with MikeYeung too. So I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy Insight for Nerds. I'm the Nightwing signing out. See you guys later. Bye. Have a good day, and let me know what you think about this trade. Obviously, I'll be giving you all the League of Legends news whenever it pops up, and I'm really so ecstatic to talk about NA getting absolutely just curb stomped, waffle hammer hit at Rift Rivals. I can't wait for that video.